7th Training Group, Detachment 5, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Today's basic military training graduation is a celebration of the achievements of these graduating airmen. It is also a ceremony that both teaches and appreciates our Air Force military heritage. Drill is an integral part of military history, a prominence that rests on the fact that its fundamental purpose was to prepare troops for battle. For the most part, drill procedures practiced in the past were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. It was this aspect of drill which made it such an important part of training. Even today, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity for instilling discipline and esprit de corps. Over 240 years ago, General Washington enlisted the assistance of Baron von Steuben, a distinguished Prussian officer, to help instill discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge in February of 1778, facing an army of several thousand undisciplined, half-starved, wretched men in rags. To correct these conditions, he set to work immediately and wrote regulations designed to teach the discipline of drill to a model company of 120 selected men. Discipline became a part of the military for these individuals, as they learned to respond to commands without hesitation. As they mastered the art of drill and began to work as a team, this group developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and in their unit. Watching this model company perform, observers were amazed to see how quickly and efficiently the troops could be massed and maneuvered into different battle formations. Later, members of this model company were assigned throughout the regular army to teach drill. It was through this simple emphasis on drill that the effectiveness and efficiency of Washington's Continental Army were improved. In 1789, Baron von Steuben wrote the American Army's first field manual, the regulations for the order and discipline of the troops of the United States. The drill procedures placed into effect at Valley Forge were not changed for over 85 years, and many of these same procedures are still in use today. One form of drill is the salute. Since early times, men of arms have used some form of salute as an exchange of greeting, the most popular of which has been the hand salute. This exchange has been preserved, and its use continued in all modern militaries, which inherit their traditions from the age of chivalry. Throughout today's ceremony, you will see the airmen presenting arms as one form of the military salute. The civilian counterpart of the salute is manifested in various ways, such as placing the right hand over the heart when the national anthem is played, or raising the hand when greeting a friend. The military salute is given in the same manner as a gesture of recognition and a friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. To maintain the proper decorum and respect for events such as this, we ask that you abide by the following standards while you are here. First, there will be times that you will be asked to stand for the invocation, the national anthem, the singing of the Air Force song, and the reciting of the oath of enlistment and the Airman's Creed. Second, we ask that you remain silent during these times, reflecting on the price that has been paid for our freedom. Third, we ask that you pay respect to the flag during the national anthem. Military members in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. Civilians should stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem, you may then return your hand to your side. We also ask that all cell phones and other electronic devices be silenced at this time. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During this oath, airmen pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution and our country. Please remember that the flight before you today has endured a unique 6-week journey, and these graduations are unique in that they are the first to take place outside of Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, since 1968. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Keesler Honor Guard, led by Senior Airman Jack Warren, the singing of the national anthem by Senior Airman Jordan Ray, and the invocation given by Chaplain Lavania Winford.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly seen, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Right shoulder, arms. Mark on. Left wheel, march. Forward, march. Order. Up.
Let's pray together. God, we give thanks today for these trainees who have earned the right to transition into airmen. May they be forever proud of the mental strength, physical stamina, and endurance they have shown over the past 6 weeks, for today they graduate BMT. God, we thank you for all the people that have made this day and this ceremony a reality. To the families and friends who are watching online, we thank you for your love and support. For the BMT staff, both here at Keesler and at Camp Shelby, we thank you for your patience and your leadership. God, today is a day of rejoicing, yet in the rejoicing, may we continue to walk in humility and bring honor to you, ourselves, our families, and the Air Force. Amen.
Thank you, Keesler Honor Guard, Senior Airman Ray, and Chaplain Winford. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Welcome to today's Basic Military Training graduation. On behalf of the 737th Training Group Commander, Colonel Michael Newsom, and the 737th Training Group Superintendent, Chief Master Sergeant Larry Guyton, we would like to introduce our distinguished guest. Today's reviewing official, the Commander, 81st Training Group, Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi, Colonel Chance Garay. Our guest speaker, the Command Chief Master Sergeant, 81st Training Group, Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi, Chief Master Sergeant Jason Buckley. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's graduation. Now focus your attention on the flight and instructors before you. From your left to your right, our military training instructor team leading Flight 752 is Technical Sergeant Tyler Crawford, military training instructor, 737 Training Group, Detachment 5, hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Technical Sergeant Robert Tarrin, military training instructor, 737 Training Group, Detachment 5, hometown, Superior, Montana. Military training instructor, please present your flight.
Present. Halt. Staff. Present. Halt. Sir, I present Flight 752. Staff. Order. Halt. Order. Halt. Staff. Eddie.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen before you today represent a portion of the 35,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest air and space force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air and Space Force. This flight has endured a unique moment in our country's storied history and has proven to be up to the challenge. Their resilience, fortitude, and teamwork have led them to this moment of graduation and carrying forward our history and legacy. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our detachment honor graduates, as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduating in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. Airman Basic Britton Jordan. Airman Basic Harrison Knackle. Airman Evan Bierbauer. Airman First Class Logan Goggins. And the top honor graduate for Flight 752 is Airman First Class Matthew Dreyer. Before the airmen recite the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all the families and friends who are with us via live stream in support of our graduates today. Your words of encouragement help motivate these airmen through 6 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air and Space Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends for continuously supporting our airmen and the greatest air power that the world has ever known. Chief Master Sergeant Buckley will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Good morning. Thank you. Colonel Warner, Senior Kaufman, Senior Holmes, all of the Det 5 cadre, thank you for having me this morning. I'll be brief because I'm excited. I'm in a unique position to be able to receive the airmen standing on the drill pad today as the training group superintendent here at Keesler Air Force Base. A training group that I would argue is the best in the Air Force, in an Air Force that I would argue is the best in the world, the best that the world's ever seen. You are part of a unique period of time in the Air Force, being graduates of basic training here at Keesler Air Force Base. And it's interesting that we were already postured to execute on our newest Chief of Staff's initiative for accelerating change or losing. If we do not accelerate the change that we have in the Air Force, we will lose in air, in space, and cyberspace. However, anybody waiting for that to happen is going to be waiting a long time. You are living proof that we can accelerate change. We will continue to enhance our lethality through change. COVID helped us with this. Around the world, I'm sure there are peer competitors that thought for sure that we would slow down, that our pipeline would stop, and that we would not be pushing out lethal airmen to units all over the world. They are wrong. We have basic military training here at Keesler Air Force Base. I am proud to receive 52 new brothers, 52 new wingmen that I know will go on to do great things to protect this nation and its interests. As part of the training group here at Keesler Air Force Base, you may get the opportunity to teleschool, online learn, direct duty technical training. These are the changes that we've made in response to the pandemic. We will not stop. We slowed down slightly, but we will not stop. And your resilience is what will help us keep going. Again, I mentioned the peer competitors should be worried. We've enhanced lethality. We've transformed the way we learn here at Keesler. But it's interesting, putting fear in an opponent isn't necessarily about being scary. I don't need to see your war face. What's scary is being consumed by or concerned with what might happen. And I imagine all over the world, folks are wondering what the Air Force will do next. You're going to help us do those great things. I'm excited about the opportunity to serve with you. And keep in mind, you don't work in the Air Force, you serve. You serve your wingmen, you serve your country, you serve your families. And to those families, thank you for trusting us with the health and well-being of your sons here. I assure you that the cadre here at the 81st Training Group is postured to support these airmen in any way that they may need. Everybody put here has been put here to help you succeed. And I'm excited about the opportunities that you'll have in the coming months and years in your careers. Airmen, it's your time. I'm ready to receive you. But first, my wingman, your new commander, Colonel Chance Garay, has some words for you. Thank you.
Good morning, Airmen. Good morning, distinguished guests, and especially those online, family, friends. Thank you for your support. I know you'd want to be here in person, but your support means a ton to us, so thank you. They wouldn't be here without your guidance, inspiration, and friendship. Graduates, airmen, we only take a few oaths in our life. Maybe some of you were scouts or part of a professional organization before you got in the Air Force. Some of you may be married or swore a commitment to your spouse. And some of you may even swore oaths to God. In our profession of arms, which you are about to enter, we also swear an oath. It is different because it is a public commitment, not to a person, not to a political party, not to a specific organization, but to an idea written into the Constitution of the United States. We are swearing that we will remain true in upholding its fundamental principles ratified by we the people. So when you pledge to bear true faith and allegiance to the same, you pledge to defend, even with your life, the very idea and beliefs that are core to this nation. This is immensely powerful. And this is why we are the greatest force the world has ever known. Graduates, are you prepared to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space force?
Aim high, fly, win!
Chief, I think they're ready.
Military training instructor, place your flight at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Garay will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Graduates, airmen, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed and remain standing for the playing of the Air Force song, followed by the departure of our official party. I am an American airman. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the 737th Training Group Basic Military Training Detachment 5 graduation. It has been an honor to serve as your narrator for today's special event. This concludes today's ceremony. Have a wonderful day.